I get back to you, you look like you're out of space.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the moments the beloved TV judge really let his litigants have it.
And I'm not her.
Number 10. Alternative payment. A landlord sues a former tenant for property damage. He also alleges that the defendant offered an alternative payment method for her rent that we'll just say isn't exactly above board.
Did y'all discuss sex for rent? Did you give him sex for rent?
Judge Mathis can't help himself. This is too crazy for words. The jokes start flying almost immediately.
What happened? You think that she just finally got the hots for you?
Everyone falls apart with laughter when the judge jokingly points out that the plaintiff isn't suing for rent, so it must have worked out between them.
Because you're not suing her for rent, so I guess that worked out.
The only one who doesn't find it funny is the plaintiff's wife, who's sitting next to him in court. It's hilarious, but also uncomfortable. Number 9. Get out of here. Plaintiff Maridel Negron gets more than she bargained for when she sues her daughter for rent. Jessica Flores' story of her mother's substance use disorder is heartbreaking, detailing neglect and abuse that the plaintiff conveniently left out of her side of the story.
How she lost custody of us is because we went to go stay with my father for the weekend, and we got a phone call from the court saying she burnt down the house.
But the judge has heard all this before. He's not going to let Negron get away scot-free, especially when she tries to trivialize her daughter's experience with her.
I let you tell your experiences the way you tried to pretty it up.
At a certain point, he gets tired of her excuses and contempt for him and the court.
Don't come in here acting like this after you've abandoned and neglected your daughter.
She'd rather flee the room than listen to him telling her what he thinks of her.
I'm sorry you had that experience. Have you gone to get counseling, ma'am?
No, I tried to get counseling when I was in high school. That's why they said that my grades were so bad because of her.
Number 8. I know the game. A lawsuit over mishandled funds from the sale of a truck raises alarm bells with the judge right away.
You crooked?
No, sir.
You ever been crooked?
No, sir.
Why you say that so slow?
No, sir. I mean, I make mistakes.
No, Your Honor.
The defendant isn't great at explaining herself, but it's clear she feels taken advantage of. Luckily, she has loads of evidence.
You have another wire transfer from what dates?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, $760. That was to pay his bills.
The plaintiff then finds he can't explain what happened to the money the defendant clearly wired to him. But the man's double talk and lies speak for themselves.
Sir, your con didn't run out.
Yes.
Wrong person. I know the game, got the game, gone with it.
When he finally strikes the gavel down, Mathis dresses the plaintiff down and points out the inconsistencies in his story. The truth is, he's been around the block, and he knows a con man when he sees one.
Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Number 7. Ma'am, you should go to jail. 2 former friends sue each other for defamation, and the details get awfully embarrassing pretty fast.
I say, wait a minute, stop. Memphis was 2 days ago. If you had a problem, why not bring it up 2 days ago?
But amid the mudslinging and allegations, it's an unfortunate photo that has the judge most concerned. Plaintiff Jamelia Pierce posted what we can only assume is an explicit shot of the defendant, as the photo itself is blurred out. These photos are so embarrassing that Mathis insists the plaintiff should do jail time for it.
Ma'am, you should go to jail.
Me?
You should go to jail.
Jail for which one?
Luckily for her, it's not a criminal court. While he doesn't think it meets the standard for defamation, it definitely meets the standard for indecency.
Good luck. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Number 6. He attacks him? Lunchroom conflict turns violent and expensive for one mother who sues the mother of her son's tormentor.
My son is a happy-go-lucky person. He never has been in a fight before in his life.
The defendant, Clarice Ross, doesn't take it seriously at all. In fact, she laughs as the plaintiff tells her side of the story, and she insists that her son is the victim here.
Her son is not no angel, and I did call Miss McDonald and tried to mend this.
Ross's story doesn't make much sense to begin with, but Judge Mathis clears things up right away. He tells both children to stand up, and the audience guffaws when they see the defendant's son has a whole foot on the other boy.
And you tell me he attacks him.
Judge Mathis takes this about as seriously as he should, which is to say, not at all. Number 5. Thank you for the education. When you come into Judge Mathis's courtroom, the bare minimum is respect. One thing you should absolutely not do is lecture a judge on legal procedures.
Stand up. State your name.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
What you want to tell me?
That's exactly what the plaintiff's witness tries to do in this case. When the judge has a reasonable question about why no one filed any police reports over alleged incidents of violence, she chimes in with a nonsensical take on how restraining orders work.
Once you file a protection order first, you can't go back and say she did
That how it go?
Not only does she have no idea what she's talking about, she also has the nerve to act like a man who went to law school and is a literal judge should take lessons from her. He thanks her for the lesson before putting her out.
Thank you for the education.
Number 4. Have you been to jail? In this case about assault, property damage, and substance use disorder, the confrontational defendant grates on the judge's last nerves. Jessica Hercules can barely contain her attitude when the judge asks her some fairly simple questions.
What else do you want to tell me?
I lost all my clothes and lost all my cards due to her.
But her belligerence and evasion makes him even more determined to get the truth out of her.
So it's okay for her and her 16-year-old daughter to jump me in her house in front of all the kids.
Where did your clothes and your cards
in her
go?
possession.
Annoyed by her aggression, he asks her point blank if she's been to jail.
Have you been to jail before?
No.
He then gives her some advice for when she goes before a judge on substance use charges.
Don't talk like that, okay? He'll throw you in jail immediately.
Although it's hard not to think he means the advice is for when, not if, she eventually goes to jail. Needless to say, this case doesn't go well for her.
You're in the wrong place with the wrong judge.
Number 3. Tough love? The judge saw himself in the plaintiff, a young man who lost both his parents and moved in with his aunt and uncle to escape the streets.
I wanted to live a good life.
Trying to get away from the tough streets of Oakland.
Exactly.
What he found, there was an uncle who was more interested in power tripping than helping him.
I said, excuse me, you could have knocked. He said, I could have knocked. He said, this is my house. I don't have to knock about nothing.
Judge Mathis tore the defendant a new one. On the verge of tears, he was working on pure rage and anguish on the plaintiff's behalf.
Sir, quiet. I don't want to hear no more of this. Hand me a piece of tissue, man.
He realizes the defendant doesn't know the difference between tough love and just being tough. The judge is never short on wisdom, but he's rarely as emotionally involved as he is here.
There's one thing to give a young man tough love, but where's the love? All I hear is toughness.
Number 2. Too pitiful. There's an old saying, say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
That's what this is about, the son's, your nephew's belongings? Is that what this is about? Huh?
There's some mean, hateful things she's putting on voicemail.
Well, that goes out the window when you leave a voicemail full of racial slurs that get played on national TV.
All that stuff has been sold, so it is no longer around, so you don't have to worry about it.
Plaintiff Laura Borden plays her sister's expletive-laden racist tirade to the court. Defendant Rebecca Prohl's use of a racial slur elicits a grimace from Judge Mathis.
That's enough, man. I'm a good Christian.
She misunderstands the point he's making about discrimination, and he can't help but take the opportunity to make sure she knows just how pitiful she is.
You're too pitiful to you. I'm not going to even address that.
When the judge tells her he'll pray for her, she can't even comprehend that it's not a compliment.
God bless you, and I'm going to pray for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lost your job and your mind. It's easily one of the craziest cases in the history of the show.
In October, she said that she was pregnant. I have my doubts about that.
The plaintiff in this case is the target of a campaign of unpaid loans, harassment, racism, false allegations, and violence at the hands of his ex and her new boyfriend.
She hit you where?
My back, my head,
And what did you do?
Nothing. I had all the stuff in my arms trying to get in the truck.
That boyfriend was arrested for stabbing the plaintiff and has the nerve to countersue for the money he had to pay to get out of jail and for losing his job. The judge tells him exactly what he thinks of his audacity. Apparently, his job is not the only thing he lost.
So let me suggest to you, not only did you lose your job, you've lost your mind. You have lost your mind.
You know you got roasted when the Judge Mathis audience burst into applause.
Have a good day. That's my judgment.
Did these moments give you a secondhand burn? Let us know in the comments.
Bye-bye.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.